There is a count every morning on this mountain. A name, a voice, a name, a voice, down the line in the dark. And every morning, a few names come back with no voice behind them, the men who answered yesterday and not today. No one tells you where they went. You already know. This is your 100th morning on the wall. With luck, it will not be your last. But for one breath before you open your eyes, before you remember where you are home. There is warm millet, and your wife at the door, and the smell of the fields after rain. Then the cold finds you. The wind off the northern steppe drags grit between your teeth, and it all comes back. You are 1,000 li from your village. You are not a soldier. 3 months ago you were a farmer, and then your name was on a conscription list, and that was the end of the discussion. There is no buying your way out. There is only the road north, and now this. Above the camp, the thing you are building catches the first gray light. It does not look like a wall yet. It looks like a wound in the mountain, a long raw ridge of packed yellow earth, climbing where no road should climb, vanishing into the fog. You cannot see the end of it. No one can. That is rather the point. You are not alone in this. The man who works beside you is a convict, branded on the face, sent here instead of the executioner. He has lost 2 fingernails this week to the carrying baskets, and he does not complain. On the 3rd day, he told you his name. At the midday break, you share what little you have, a heel of millet, a mouthful of water that tastes of grit. He nods north to the haze where the steppe begins, and somehow you understand him exactly. You did not ask what he had done. It does not matter. The wall does not care what you were. To understand why you will spend this day, and maybe your life, moving dirt up a mountain, you have to understand the man who ordered it. His name is Ying Zheng. He calls himself the first emperor. A decade ago, China was many warring kingdoms. He conquered them all, and now everything lies under a single hand. But empires have edges. And beyond this northern edge ride the Xingnu, horsemen who burn a town and are gone before the garrison can mount. You cannot conquer men who have no cities to take, so the emperor chose the only thing he could build against horsemen: distance, a barrier. No one ordered a wonder. The emperor ordered a fence. The wonder is what it cost, and that cost is you and the convict beside you, and every exhausted man rising in the cold along hundreds of miles of mountain. The work is simpler than you would think, and worse than you can imagine. There is no quarry, no great stone here. The wall is the mountain, packed and beaten into shape. You fill a basket with earth. You carry it up the ramp on a pole across your shoulders. You empty it into a wooden frame, and men with heavy tampers beat that earth, layer by thin layer, until it is harder than brick. Fill, carry, climb, empty, again, again. By midday, the dust is in your eyes and your throat, and the rhythm has hollowed your mind out, which is mercy. You do not think about your wife. You think about the next basket. Only the next basket. The overseer does not see men. He sees a quota scratched on a bamboo slip that must be met by dusk, or the punishment runs downhill onto all of you. So you keep your eyes forward. You keep climbing. And then, high on the unfinished section, the way it always happens, without warning, a saturated stretch of earth lets go. A slump. A roar of dust, men scrambling. When it clears, one man does not get up. It is the convict. The man who told you his name. The overseers do not stop the work. They do not even slow it. The wall must reach the next marker by dusk, and the wall does not care who is under it. And here is the thing no one says aloud, though every man on this line knows it. He will not be carried home. There is no cart, no road, no right. He will be laid aside, and tomorrow the work will close over the spot and the wall will rise. How many died building this thing, no one will ever truly count, only that the number ran into the hundreds of thousands. Posterity will give the wall a grim name, the longest cemetery on earth. To you, tonight, that means only this, that there will be one fewer man to answer the morning count, that you never learned what he had done, and that no one ever will. Centuries from now, China will still tell a story about this wall. A woman who walked north to bring her conscripted husband his winter coat and reached the wall only to learn he was already dead, already inside it. She wept until a whole stretch cracked open and gave up his bones. It is only a legend, but it outlasts the emperor because every empire that buries its builders eventually raises a ghost. The light goes red and then it goes. The overseer counts the markers, the quota is met, and so tonight there will be gruel and sleep and no punishment. This is what passes here for a good day. You look back at what your hands made. A new length of wall stands where this morning there was only mountain. It will outlast you. It will outlast everyone who lifted a basket today. Your name will not survive. Your work will survive for 2,000 years. And the wall you picture when you hear those words, the gray stone dragon winding over green hills, you would not recognize it. That wall came 1,500 years later, built by an entirely different China. What you built was earth and sweat and bone long since melted back into the mountains. But it came first. You lie down in the same cold you woke in. You have stopped counting the days. A day out here is not a number. A day is simply this, that you woke and you carried, and at dusk you answered the count. By that single measure, today you survived. And 1,000 lie to the south, there is a bowl of millet going cold and a door, and a woman still listening for a step on the road that will not come this year. The emperor will never hear that silence on the southern road. He is already looking past the wall, past every man who lifted a basket today, to one last monument, the one he means to carry with him into the earth. Far to the south, in secret, he is building it now. An army that would never fight. 8,000 soldiers of clay, and if the old histories are true, the living craftsmen sealed inside the tomb to guard its secrets. That is where we go next. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, this was one day. One day in ancient China.